Hey guys, Rob Becker here. So what I have for you today is a build review and just kind of running through the updates of the 2020 XB2 Carpet Edition. And I also have along for the ride my 2019 just to compare it to. So the build was flawless, no complaints there. I personally just struggled a little bit with getting full lock out of the steering with the servo horn that I have. It's a ProTech 2-hole. It was just a little bit too tall with both holes, so I actually ground it down, just down to the 1 because it was too tall, the body kept hitting. And then the only way I could get full lock out of it was by adding a 2mm shim right here. So I guess I do have one complaint, and it's just they updated the 2020 chassis, but they didn't update the bodies, and the body doesn't conform with the chassis, so you have these gaps here. It's not a huge deal. I mean, it's Velcro all the way along the side, so you can do one of these. So I just want to run through some updates. I'm not running through all of them, just the ones that I was really glad to see. So first and foremost, the chassis has been updated. It bends on each side. It's got updated side guards, updated carbon fiber. Really the biggest thing there for me, I haven't driven the car yet, but just electronics wise, it was so much easier and more room to put all your electronics, battery and everything in there. I'll show you my 19. And I had to buy this aftermarket or whatnot, but normally you'd have your battery holder that would come here, and you would have your 2 posts. And with having the servo here, your ESC sat right here, and with this ridge, it just didn't sit flat. It just bothered me. Plus, there wasn't much room, so having that being updated is great. 2, just to show you while I have this, here's the motor brace, so that's been updated. And then here is the old motor mount, which has been updated, which I'll show you. So I would say one of my favorite things is the updated battery holder, normal batteries, LCG batteries. Again, without having the piece all over here, without having the big piece of foam and your post going up, it just gives you a ton more room. So they updated the gearbox, and it's narrower and lower center of gravity. They also updated your holders here for the diff, so you've got 6 different diff height adjustments, and they updated the diff itself, so it's an extra large volume diff. They updated the motor brace to give you that pivot ball adjustment, and then they also updated the motor mount itself, so it's much more lower profile and lighter weight. Updated front and rear carbon shock towers. For the rear, they added adjustments for your wing, so you've got an extra adjustment to go up or down to raise or lower your wing. For the front, they have updated this carbon fiber brace. It's lower now because of the updated arms. The only kind of thing that just looks a little concerning, which I guess I'm sure they did a bunch of testing, but it's just very thin here. So I'll show you that one. That's the new one versus the 19 and before. There was just much more carbon here. So the rear arms have been updated, and it's wider through here, so you have more adjustment to move the hubs forward or backward. The front arms have been updated. They now allow the shocks to sit lower, and then they've made this an eccentric lower shock mounting pivot ball, which allows you to adjust the angle of the shocks to influence traction and corner speed. So the 2020 manual no longer has you put a washer over all these screws. So I think with updating all the arms, they moved the hole here just a little bit closer. So now on all of these, you don't need a washer or a shim. So as far as anything I'd like to see them add in the box, it would be great if more manufacturers made a dedicated fan mount for the stock racers. My 2019 the 19 had a hole right here, and then you had plenty of room where companies had made a fan mount that you could just screw in here to hold it in place. Now with the 2020, there's actually less room here too. You can't sit the fan right back in here, and then two, there is no hole. I mean, double-sided tape's fine. It would just be great if people thought about stock racers and just added some way for you to mount your fan. So here's the 2019 manual. And I'll show you the back of it. It doesn't have a fold out, and then this is paper. There you go, sorry. The 2020s, really the only update I had seen in there, as far as to the manual itself, is it now has a fold out for additional tools and such that you can buy, and then it's laminated, so I think you could write on it and then wipe it off potentially. So here's a page just to kind of flip through to give you an idea, if you haven't built an X-Ray, how great their manuals are. It's very detailed, and now the carpet and dirt is all in one manual. So if you are running both cars, you don't have to carry two. The only thing I wish is that they had more writing to kind of explain tuning options and what that did. Techno does a really good job at that. That would be something. That's the only thing that I wish they would add, because it's all really just pictures. But it's a very, very good manual. So it was just a quick running through the build and going through the updates. So what I thought were the biggest updates this year. Look forward to running the car soon. I'm excited to have it. I typically don't get a car every year, but they did a lot of updates from the 19 to the 20, so I figured what the heck, I'd grab one. I'm gonna go to the track here in the coming weeks, so I'll post some footage there at the track and do like a review after running it too, to see how it compares to the 19. My 19 was pretty dialed. That's the best carpet car I've ever run, so looking forward to running the stock setup and then changing a couple things. I'll probably change some things closer to my 19 setup, I would imagine, but we'll see. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Appreciate it.